modern audience. Of course I have pronouns in bio.
I'm the modern audience. Of course I'm a narcissistic psychopath.
I'm the modern audience. Of course I pick DI initiatives over gameplay and story.
I'm the modern audience. Of course my personality is based entirely around my sexuality.
I'm the modern audience. Of course I complain about everything online, but I don't actually financially support any of these franchises. I love Disney Star Wars.
I'm the modern audience. Of course my full-time job is Twitter. Also, fuck you, Elon, you right-wing fascist!
I'm the modern audience. Of course I want to break the law to insert political ideas of the current day.
I'm the modern audience. Of course I have a flag in my bio letting everybody know where I put my ding-dong. Don't assume my gender, you bigot.
I'm the modern audience. Of course everybody caters to me and my non-existent friends.
We're just normal men.
What do you mean, normal men?
We're just innocent men.
It's time for Side Scrollers with me, Stuttering Craig.
I did. Oh, wow! Right on the tip. Just on the tip.
And Blab. Co-hosted by our friends from around the internet.
There is a portion of Norway where it is legally required to carry a firearm at all times.
If you're just a normal man looking for common sense in this crazy-ass world, you've come to the right place. And now, broadcasting from our homes from around the internet, it's time for Side Scrollers.
Okay, you ready? Open wide!
Welcome on out to Side Scrollers on YouTube.com and Rumble.com and SideScrollersPodcast.com. What is going on, everybody? Happy Tuesday to you. Hello, hello, hello. I am Stuttering Craig. My, oh my. The modern audience has been found. Here we are. We got them captive. We need to name them. Blabs, what should their names be?
I was in the middle of typing. We're gonna name the modern audience and our names.
Yeah, we gotta name the two characters. The modern audience.
Craggett.
Yeah, we'll chat. What should we name them? We gotta name the characters. Very simple.
Jeremiah. I had the song "Jeremiah Was a Bullfrog" stuck in my head. I don't know. Anyway,
Okay. We'll throw it out to the chat. We'll do a community post about it over on YouTube and X and everywhere.
Name us.
Yes, we got to name the modern audience, which is good. Someone who does not need to be named, a new name at least, showing up every Tuesday in wonderful monochromatic black and white. Let's go. It's Razor Fist.
All right. So, Karen and a male name that rhymes with Aiden. It's gotta be Karen. The male Karen is something that rhymes with Aiden. Braden, Craden, Dayton. They're all named that.
I like it.
Godspeed, everyone.
Listen, somebody in chat said they should both be named Pat.
Jaden
Pat
is
and
perfect. Jaden is perfect.
Karen and Jaden. I like it. Are you good with that? Good with our character development here, Blabs?
I don't like Karen. I think it needs to be even better. That's like the stereotypical
Alyssa.
answer. No, that's just too on the nose. It's got to be something like.
I've never met an Amber in my life that wasn't a bitch.
I've never met an Amber in my life that wasn't a stripper.
Let's call her Amber then.
Large pool to pick from,
She
is
will
there?
not be joining the strip club though.
Well, we'll continue to workshop it. As
Okay.
We're hoping this is a long time.
Oh my God, Felicia.
Bye, Felicia. That's right. Well, welcome on out, everybody. Glad you're with us. It is Tuesday. We got a phenomenal show ahead of us today. We are going to be talking about all things gay, and that's the way it goes when it comes to Disney. We got a little bit of Mr. Beast. He wants to feed your children now, which is really good.
I think some of his associates do too.
Oh boy. We have potentially the next Concord on the horizon, which does not bode very well. We have a surprising movie that of the video game variety, which I got to be honest, I was not expecting. And P. Diddy has been arrested. We also have a major landmark moment in video game that just happened this morning, which I can't wait to share with you guys. But first, I want to remind you guys, once again, we're live over at Rumble. We have an X account and an Instagram account, don't we, Blabs?
We do. So follow us for memes and clips of the show. Otherwise, whatever their faces' names are going to come knocking on your doors and tell you to go play Concord.
The FBI?
No, I was talking about Creighton, Amy, Amber, whatever the hell their names were. I already forgot.
Oh, just the modern audience.
The modern audience is going to come knocking.
Sounds good. You can also listen to the...
You'll have an empty doorstep then.
Right. You can also listen to the show over on Apple Podcast and Spotify, which is great. But do want to give you a heads up. Once again, over at sidescrollerspodcast.com, we encourage you to head over there, become a member. We just released the Golden Era podcast, the Golden Era documentary over there. If you're a fan of the classic GoldenEye 007, it's a 90-minute doc that goes deep into the development, the lore, the company behind it, the people who built it. It is awesome. So check that out. It's exclusive for supporters over at sidescrollerspodcast.com. Like our newest member, NC Smith, who is an annual member. Speaking of, a little bit of perk for you guys, use promo code GOLDEN and get $27 off the annual membership over there over at sidescrollerspodcast.com. We'll be doing a lot more exclusive stuff along the way. So head on over there and become a member right now. Use promo code GOLDEN, $27 off. So with that said, we're off to a great start. If you are new to us over here on YouTube, do us a favor, hit the subscribe button. Also tell us in the chat if you're new. We would love for you to say hi. And don't be like one of those guys who's here every day, which we appreciate, by the way. Don't be like, I'm new.
You know what's funny? It reminds
Don't
me
just
of
keep showing up. God,
Yeah.
Screw you.
It reminds me of that video we watched yesterday. He's like, I'm new here. Got the shit kicked out of him.
That's right. But seriously, we love that you guys show up every day, and thank you very much. It's very impressive, and we
I show up every day, Craig.
That's right, because you're paid to do it. With that said, hit the subscribe button. Join the 95,700.
Just like Amber.
That's right, just like Amber. She's there for the dollar bills, y'all.
Yep, here for the dollars.
Join the 95,790 normal men who have found common sense in the video game space. We're closing in on that one hundo. Maybe we'll get that digital plaque from YouTube one of these days.
Woohoo!
Woohoo! Oh man, a little geeky sparkles over here. Do you know who that is?
Should I?
Yeah, geek. Well, she's the other side of
Clownfish.
Clownfish. That's right.
Yeah.
Whenever they get a new subscriber, she goes woohoo.
Oh, I thought it was like some type of movie character. I'm like, should I know what that is?
Yeah. Well, if you are new to the stream, hello. Great to see you. We're glad you're here. Let's do our best to get to 1,000 likes today. We'd really appreciate that. All right. Let's get going. We got a lot going on today, so no dilly-dallying around. We're going to get to your super chats here in a little bit, and we'll start off with Honey Badger. Says, Razor, just watched some of your early videos. Glad to see you haven't changed in 15 years, and everything you said is still applies now. Ever think of making more video game retrospectives?
Yeah, I think the last one I did was, System Shock? Something like, I think it was System Shock I did. And it was before the remake even came out. But yeah, there's a few retrospectives that I want to do, actually, to totally stealing Screw Attack's idea. That's like totally where I started. You guys didn't you guys do a good one on Silent Hill or Resident Evil?
Retrospective. So Game Trailers did all the retrospective stuffs, and they were way more talented than we were.
That's right. They did Resident Evil, so I stole their idea instead.
Yes.
That's fine. I feel okay about that because I got banned from them. But no, there's a few, and actually, the next video game review I have is already basically done. The script for it is, and it is a retrospective. It's an older game, so.
Ooh, interesting. Well, there you go. Your wish is Razor's command in a weird way. Mage Leader says, name the characters Caitlin and Brayden. It's a very Gen Z name, I think. Yeah. Caitlin.
Very, very.
Yeah.
What happened in the 90s and early 2000s that suddenly every kid had to be like, it's either like it rhymes with Aiden or it's like Braxton or Braxlin or Daxon or like what is with dudes' names? What happened?
There's a severe drop off of Johns.
Oh my God!
Jack. Like,
no,
when's the
no
last
way.
Jack you met? Like, what's
There's a drop off of Johns now, but when I was a kid, everyone and their mother was named John.
Like now, it's not
True.
Jax, it's Jackson.
Oh yeah,
if you were sorry. If you were in like a first grade class or something, there'd be like 3 or 4 Johns in there, right? There'd be 3 or 4 Johns and a few in the toilets. No, not really. Not that kind of school. But no, like it used to be like normal names. Of course, in my town, it was like Luis and Jose and whatever. But What happened to normal names is my question. Mark.
Yeah, I've been wondering.
There's less Mark you met. You know?
Well, there's Mark the Cyborg, but it's spelled with a C.
Yes.
So that's the
Well,
problem.
I mean, that's not a huge thing. It's like Eric with a K or just ERIC for Eric. Yeah, I agree with Razor. A lot of the names they're not classy names anymore. Like the name Emma, you don't see that name anymore. Like, or Charlotte, things like classy, old school English names gone. Now it's all like, oh, we gotta make it like, for the modern times, we gotta have some, funk in it, like Kingston and stuff like that. It's like, what the hell?
Yeah, bring back Gretchen and Hortense.
Yeah, and Gertrude. I'm so there, bro.
I'm waiting for Hortense. Listen, I'm saying this right now. Anybody names their kid Hortense, it's got to be their first child. Okay, can't be like your sixth child, right? Because that at a certain point you stop caring. It's got to be your first child. If you name your first child Hortense,
Hortense, here's a who.
listen, straight up, I'll give you every piece of Side Scrollers merchandise we've ever made for your child. It'll be great.
Wow.
Yeah.
Isn't that worth it for a lifetime being made fun of in school?
Yeah, I think, yeah, but I got this cool T-shirt.
Yeah.
There we go.
You know what was a really big trendsetter in names? Game of Thrones, apparently. A couple years ago, there was like a lot of children being named after Game of Thrones characters, and it's like, really?
As Norm says, at least these.
Which is a little odd when you consider
yeah.
like you've seen most of those characters' genitals. It's kind of odd.
Yeah, and like, or they either
one.
got murdered or, killed other people. It's like, they're not the best
Hey, I saw that character bleed out. Awesome. Okay.
I like that name now. It's like, okay.
Yeah.
Well, all right. I didn't know we were going to go down the.
I blame Razor.
Well, I mean, actually, I did kind of know this, and I don't mind that conversation. I think it's worth having for sure.
You knew this when you signed me on.
And I like it.
You
Kane Brain
knew what
says,
this was.
yeah. Hey, Razor, rip to Peter Kubik. Is it Kubik?
Kubik. Yeah, I think it's Kubik in that pronunciation because he's an Austrian dude.
Okay. Of the great black metal band Abigor, who left this world by his own hand earlier this month. Rest in peace.
Yeah, one of my favorite black metal. Actually, technically, the black metal band that got me into the genre. Abigor, amazing band. And yeah, sadly, the guitarist, songwriter, multi-instrumentalist, basically the band leader of that band, killed himself.
Oof. Rough. Anti-Hero says the intro was pure gold, was instinctively reaching for the flamin' warfer to spread some warmth and brighten everyone's day. Well, thank you so much, Anti-Hero. Do us a favor. You can retweet that over at the Stuttering Craig X account. So if you want to help spread the word, next one will be over on the Side Scrollers one for sure, but wanted to get the first one out to the masses. All right. We got a lot going on. We're going to read every super chat along the way, every direct donation along the way, and every Rumble rant as well. But first, I'd like to get to some Today in Gaming History, Blabs.
Okie dokie, September 17th, guys. We have Hexen 2 racing back in 1997. Ooh, Razor likes that one. He's like, ooh.
I like it.
He's like those Chinese stones that make the ooh face. And then we have Borderlands 2 releasing back in 2012. And then we had Grand Theft Auto releasing back in 2013. Yay!
But when did the Borderlands movie come out? That's the date we really need to mark.
Yeah, like the other day was Borderlands 3. Today is Borderlands 2.
Yep, you're not for the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
Flop of the movie.
I think we can actually track the passage of time just by watching the laugh lines on the faces of the entire extended cast, I think.
Well, Blabs, I'm going to tell you this right now. I have zero objections to your list today.
That's right, punk.
Well, no, you're supposed to say thanks.
Why would I say thank you for you agreeing to my list? I don't give a fuck.
Razor, what the hell's happening? Wow. Who is this?
That kitten's got claws.
Oh, golly. I don't give a did you grab your Johnson after you said it? I don't give a fuck.
I think a little of the modern audience, Caitlin, or whatever we're going to call her, got into her.
So angry. Golly.
It's the bucket hat. It transfers power.
Jeez. It's not the bucket hat that says bad bitch on it, is it?
No, this one just says karaoke.
Yes, I know. Good Lord, Vlad.
You know how you're supposed to pronounce that?
Karaoke.
Karaoke.
There you go. Yeah. But us here in America, we say
Or as it's usually
karaoke.
pronounced by drunk Japanese businessmen, karaoke.
Oh, well, thank you for that, Blabs. The heel easy. Just reel it in. Reel it in, Blabs. Okay, there we
I
go.
didn't actually mean it, or maybe I did. I actually don't care if you're mad at the list.
So mad. Jeez Louise, it's crazy. Over on Rumble, Shane says, since Agatha is the gayest thing the MCU has made, we all know Craig is going to watch it. How about you, Blabs and Razor? Also, rise up, my Falcons. We actually have a QB now. Well, congratulations, Shane. Your mascot's gay. All right,
Yeah,
congratulations.
definitely not watching.
Yeah, sorry, Shane. You guys gonna watch Agatha?
No. I haven't watched a Marvel show in years.
I know. Yeah. All
I,
right.
it wouldn't have anything to do with the fact that pretty much Disney at this point couldn't sell beans at a farting contest. Like, that's just.
Well, we're gonna get both sides of Disney today. Very interesting today.
Both two sides, and they're both gay.
Yeah, there's an element to that. Yes, absolutely. All right, let's get into it. It's time for my favorite segment, your favorite segment, everybody in the world's favorite segment. It is time for Hard News. All right, Razor, we have a monumental moment in the day of video games that happened today, this morning, right now. It has just happened as the $200 million failure that is Concord has officially bit the dust with 0 players on right now. This is the first.
Man, do you have like the clip from TMNT 1990 where they hum taps while they set the pizza down? That's what we need to play right now.
Yeah, good times that TMNT pizza, man, that's good stuff. Sounds good right now. But yes, it has unfortunately reached it was clinging the last few days. It had 2 yesterday. It had 1 late last night, and that person has officially signed off. So unfortunately, whoever was clinging to hope, it's gone. And it's really unfortunate to see.
It's a pretty bar graph.
It really is. You can kind of see the sheer hype right there on August 24th with 607 players. Pretty hyped right there. In less than 25 days, Blabs, this game is released and gone to 0 players. It is no longer in existence at all. You know, somebody was saying how we shouldn't use Steam as a barometer for success. And I was like, I think you should absolutely use Steam as a barometer of success.
Yeah. Like, where do
what else
most
would
people
you use then?
Yeah, where do most people get their PC games from? And PC gaming is making a lot more money than console gaming right now. I think that's probably the better platform. Plus, Microsoft and Sony hide their numbers. Yep. Straight up. That's the problem. So, yeah, I'd love to use Xbox numbers. I'd love to use PS5 numbers, all, 15 of them or whatever that are playing games concurrently. But they hide those numbers on purpose, probably.
Mm-hmm.
Great.
Because they have shareholders. It would make them look bad if the numbers are low.
Macho Man's rap career lasted longer.
Yeah,
let's go.
Be a man, Hogan.
Well, speaking of really shitty numbers, honestly, Quidditch Champions is following Concord. So their all-time peak, which this game launched 14 days ago, so 2 weeks ago today, and the all-time peak was 6,574. As of right now, less than 400 people are playing on Steam. So it's damn, bro.
Well, Blabs, I'm going to counter that and say, how dare you? There's 464 people.
I checked an hour ago. Ooh.
Well, I want to be real though. Like, nobody saw Quidditch Champions tearing up the charts, right? I don't think.
No, but a lot of people wanted it. If you look at a lot of people for Hogwarts Legacy, they wanted it in the Hogwarts Legacy video game.
Well, apparently not.
They're just butthurt that it's not in there, so they refuse to play this one because it's shit too.
Yeah. Just saying, apparently not a lot of people wanted it. I mean, if only, 6,000 players playing at a time is great.
Has Blabs ever talked about her favorite Harry Potter game? Do we have 45 minutes?
Well, we do know Harry Potter's upcoming movie.
Because I remember my little cousin getting some of the first Harry Potter games.
Those slap.
For GameCube and whatnot, and loving them.
They're fantastic, the original games. The first 3 video games from EA, Sorcerer's Stone, Chamber of Secrets, Prison of Azkaban, phenomenal video games. Phenomenal. I got nothing bad to say about them, except for the Gringotts bit, but that's it.
Okay. You
See,
heard
look,
it here
I did it in
first,
less than 45 minutes, as told.
There
We should absolutely do Blabs watches Harry Potter
Oh my gosh.
on our .com, on sidescrollerspodcast.com.
You'll find me just being very angry up from movie number 6 to 8, though.
But people would love watching it with you.
God, how are there
Like,
more
did
Harry
you guys
Potter?
know they didn't actually film this in the same scene together? They filmed it separately because they couldn't stop laughing at each other.
Love it.
I know those things.
Yeah, 100. What were you gonna say, Razor?
How are there more Harry Potter movies than like Death Wish? Or like how? I never thought that would happen.
They tried to bring it back. Death Wish didn't work out very well, unfortunately.
It was a good movie. It was
new one?
It's an underrated movie with Bruce Willis. Yes, very under. I reviewed it on Rageaholic Cinema.
Yeah.
Yes.
What is it? Is it better than Am I Racist?
I don't know. Anything is better than a Matt Walsh production.
Oh, I enjoyed it. I saw it on Friday. I saw it. There were 6 people in the theater, all white, all old, with me.
Yeah, I saw the original version of Borat with the humor and punchlines. I don't think I need to watch the hipster beard version.
Yeah. Well, it was. It came in number 5. It didn't bore at it, but it came in okay. It was all right.
Right.
All right, let's go and move on. Hey, did you hear the news this morning? P. Diddy.
Yeah, what the hell?
He's been arrested.
I still don't know exactly what the charges are. I heard like him diddling underage boys. Like what happened?
Well, let's find out right now. He's been charged with racketeering, conspiracy, and sex trafficking. Not a good look there, P. Diddy. So here we are.
Kamala Harris with him at one point?
Listen, I don't know. I'm not going to dig into that, but I'm sure you could probably do a little digging on that, see if you can
I
find
think she should get some knee pads.
Listen, she owns several pair. It's from what I understand.
she's sponsored by New Balance. Yes.
Yes. So the charges, music mogul.
Oh my God, she is.
What? She is what?
She was with him. There's like this little video of her from when she's a little girl. Not a little girl, but a lot younger. Here we go. There it is.
Hold on, that's not P.
That's
Diddy.
Montel Williams. Do they all look the same to you,
geez,
Blabs?
Oh my God, Blabs! What is?
Goodness.
Wait, but like, isn't P. Diddy somewhere else?
You are racist.
Unbelievable, Blabs!
I thought that was P. Diddy.
I knew it. Those are not wizard robes she owns. They're clan robes. I knew it. She's a grand wizard. That's what's going on.
I didn't watch the video. I just saw that it said P. Diddy and I clicked play.
You're a grand wizard, Harry.
Oopsies.
Oh my God, Blabs! What the hell was
Guess
that?
what? You can't cancel someone who's uncancelable.
That's right. Let him know, Blabs.
Oh no!
Oh,
Historic moment.
Classic Blabs.
The truth comes out.
Oh my God! All right. So
To
the
be
charges.
fair, though, I didn't watch the video. I want that out there. I just saw something about Kamala Harris, P. Diddy, and I
Blabs.
clicked play.
That makes it worse because you thought that P. Diddy looked like Montel Williams.
I didn't look at the video. I just saw it and clicked play.
Shut up, Blabs. Shut up.
Whatever. Whatever. I guess they're all the same. That's what Craig wants me to say. That's what Craig wants me to say.
Oh no! What have we done?
Listen, can we bring back the 90s comedy?
Yes.
Just gonna hang out down here for a little bit.
Yeah. You know,
Right.
black people drive like this, and white people drive like this. I'm sexually inadequate.
Well,
See you later.
yeah. Well, see you later, everybody. Let's see if I can do the show from down here for a minute
Right,
or two. Here
exactly.
we go. All right, let's see. So the I'm not even on the screen. That's fine.
It's just
Mogul-
your cap.
Yeah. So Diddy has been charged with racketeering and sex trafficking.
How are you reading this from over there?
I'm
Yeah,
pretty
you're
impressed.
usually blind.
Yeah, it's pretty good. Anyway, so he says a federal indictment unsealed Tuesday in New York as his Combs abused, threatened, and coerced victims from at least 2008 to present, which we know this has been going on since the 90s, right? Clearly, since he came on the thing. see the scene. Combs is now inside the federal courthouse in Manhattan, according to a law enforcement official about the indictment.
He was fooled. They told him it was a 15-year-old boy.
Like, go get him, P. Diddy. Prosecutors
in there. He's got a Cub Scout uniform on. Don't worry about it.
Oh my God. He says Combs created and ran a criminal enterprise through his business empire that engaged in crimes including sex trafficking, forced labor, kidnapping, what the fuck? Arson, bribery, obstruction to justice, and according to the federal indictment, what? Oh my God. So he was arrested yesterday night, Monday night at the Park Hyatt Hotel in Manhattan and taken into custody by the Homeland Security Investigations. Good God. I'm going to sit back up now. There we go.
Wow.
All right. Your thoughts, Razor, on P. Diddy being arrested for this? That's a lot. That's a lot of stuff right there.
Criminal enterprise. Like, what does the forced labor entail? What's arson? Arson?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, right? The idea.
Look, people forget that when he first got famous, there was a lot of controversy about how he had a criminal record and whatnot beforehand, right?
Mhm.
Like, I remember SNL did like a series of sketches kind of making fun of how P. Diddy was basically like involved in organized crime before he became famous as a... What is he? Is he even a rapper, or is he a kind of bad singer? Or anyway,
he
before all
was
of that, yeah, they kind of made fun of that, and it was sort of a running gag. And then he became real famous, and he did the standard, "Oh, I'm not a rapper anymore, I'm a mogul," right? I got my own shirt line, and what he did, that generic cliche nonsense that all these pop rapper sellouts did. And everybody just forgot about it. Oh, he's now Americana. He's got his own clothing line. You know what I mean? It's like, so I maybe we should have seen this coming a little bit, because we knew that it was baked into the casserole. We knew this kind of stuff about Puff Daddy. Screw that P. Diddy nonsense.
Mhm.
Since before he got famous.
You know who my first thought was of when this came down, which, there's been a lot of rumors about this for a long time. And even looking back on this, you're like, that ain't right. Justin Bieber. Did you ever see the video of them like hanging out? And
Did you discover him or something?
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, so there's
Isn't
a
this
video.
like the thing with Drake and Millie Bobby Brown all over again?
Well, there's a video of P. Diddy or Puff Daddy and Justin Bieber, and he's like, we're going to go out, hang out, and go around the town. It's going to be the best thing ever. And it's really, really, really bizarre. And golly, it's
how's it bizarre? Like, what, his behavior?
Let me kind of show it to you. I think this is the video right here. And yeah, let me see if I get this pulled up. So they're like hanging out. And this is Justin Bieber's 48 hours with Diddy. Okay. And they're just hanging out. He's like 15 at the time.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. They're just meeting. Check this out.
Get the mansion.
Okay, I get the mansion. So where are we off to now?
Where would you like to go?
I mean, wherever you want to go. Where are we going?
So check this out, yo. Justin, you ever seen the movie 48 Hours? Right now, he's having 48 hours with Diddy, him and his boy. They're having the times of their lives, like where we hanging out and what we doing. We can't really disclose. But it's definitely a 15-year-old's dream.
Just
Every
kind of has a
15-year-old boy's dream, isn't that like sexual?
kind of has a this age.
It's a dream, not wet dream, Blabs.
You get the idea here, though. This is not like that was my first look. My first thought was like, oh,
yeah, it does cast that in a different light.
Sure does.
Didn't Justin Bieber get like viral popular on YouTube or something first? And
Yes.
so P. Diddy glommed on actually after the fact, it sounds like.
I think you're right. But when they first talked about the charges was several months ago. I think it was back at the start of the summer or before then. They had the video of Puff Daddy leaving his leaving his mansion or whatever, but he had some electronics with him, and they're like, is he fleeing the country? You know, it was a lot, man. And this story, man, like you wonder.
Well, not only that, but did you catch the part? I don't think it was actually in the article where they actually said they were planning to raid Diddy's home and arrest him today. But something happened. They didn't disclose what it was, but it made them move their timetable up. 10 to 1, he was getting ready to run. I bet you anything.
Wow.
He had like a flight booked or something like that, and so they decided to raid him a day early.
Well, they say to his credit, Mr. Combs was nothing but cooperative with this investigation. He voluntarily relocated to New York last week in anticipation of these charges. So they're saying that they knew they were coming, and that's why he went to New York. It's a lot, man. This is crazy to see. And you wonder, is he going to get a slap on the wrist, or is he actually? I mean, there's a lot of charges, man. He's talking about arson of all, like arson, kidnapping. Holy shit! This is a like the expression that I heard was that he is the music industry's Weinstein. Like that's fucked up.
Well, and there's just as many rumors about like Jay-Z and whatnot. Like he's not the only one in this kind of boat, right? In this industry. So I don't know. I kind of feel like it's the tip of the iceberg. I just wonder like why now after all this time, what exactly touched this off, right? Like, because again, growing up, I remember them making fun of his kind of not so secret criminal record on television every night. You know, late night comedians would make fun of it and SNL and whatnot. It's just weird that it all comes down. Now, who did he piss off is my question.
Right. Good question. Good question. And that I do not know. But I'm sure it'll all come out here in the next couple weeks as this, goes along. Do you think you'll see any jail time from this? I mean, these are some pretty big charges.
No.
No? None at all, huh, Blabs?
Nah. I think if he does go to jail, it will be for the minimum extent.
I mean, but with a rap sheet like that, you got to think he also killed Tupac, man. I'm just saying.
Literally look at like what's going on in the United States right now. A lot of people who are like raping people get out after like 90 days.
Hide your wife, hide your kids. They raping everybody out here.
Anton Johnson.
It just does seem, and I don't want to put on the conspiracy theory hat, but I will put on the conspiracy theory hat. Mm-hmm. It's odd that this was announced the day after an attempt on a presidential candidate's life.
It is interesting, especially given the agency involved in both.
It's just odd.
We need like a tinfoil thing where we can just put over our heads. Kind of like this guy, right?
I think that Rangers hat is lined with tinfoil, actually.
Right, correct. I don't know. Interesting theory for sure. But I guess we'll see what happens to Sean P. Diddy Combs along the way. And I think the first question is you go to Justin Bieber and you say, Justin, what did Diddy do to you?
He'd never talk.
Hey, what's he got to lose right now? Like, the guy's going to go to jail maybe, I don't know.
Bieber, what's he got to lose? Probably deals and record labels and all that stuff. Whatever it is, money.
That's true. I don't know. It sure would be good though. I hope Justin Bieber doesn't get to his deathbed and he's like, P. Diddy diddled me. By the way, the Diddy nickname, really weird in retrospect.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Anyways, well, I'll tell you what. Let's go and move on. Hey, Link Fan came in with a $50 direct donation. Blast. Look at that. Look at that. Link Fan says, I was interested in the Lollipop Chainsaw remake, which I think is what caused a Kotaku review to be suggested to the article, saying that it's a janky mess. And the first line, according to people who have played this, say that it tells me they didn't play it. I understand. Thanks, Link Fan. So he's pretty much that's pretty standard for Kotaku, I think, along the way is these reviews of just. I feel like they go against the grain on purpose. It's all about rage engagement when it comes to Kotaku. So, also Vimarain came in with a $23.61 odd, very specific donation. Says, Trump, you're trying to tell me I can dodge bullets? Morpheus, no. I'm trying to tell you. I'm trying to tell you how these leftists aim. You won't have to.
Yeah, that is a weird detail of the unaliving attempt, as it were.
Yes.
Is there's been conflicting reports since yesterday of like all these articles have exchange of gunfire in the article. Oh, they exchanged gunfire with authorities or whatever. And then other ones now say, oh, no, he just laid down his gun and surrendered. It's no big deal. There was no gunfire. So it's like back and forth. I have no idea which to believe.
Who does? And let's be real. I love, just without getting too far into that, I love the idea that DeSantis is like, we're going to do our own investigation too.
Yeah.
Like, hey, why not?
He should.
Matthew came in with the 10, says, can you actually lose money when you already have a bunch of money? Bieber is super wealthy. He could say whatever he wants and they can't take his money from him. Yeah, it's true.
He's had a drug habit for a number of years. A lot of that money probably went up his nose.
Yeah, good point.
Can't imagine what he's trying to medicate. Any childhood pain, maybe? I don't know.
Suppressed rage, perhaps. I don't know. Just, All right, let's go and move on. Speaking of suppressed rage, this is, I feel like we talked about this before previously, but of all the video game movies that you anticipated happening ever, this is not one. The Sims. The Sims live action movie is officially in development at Amazon and will have a theatrical release with Margot Robbie producing and Kate Herron directing.
Isn't The Sims just life? Like,
correct.
You could literally just make a movie about a family in a house.
It's a slice of life live action.
I guess I don't understand.
I'm with you on that. I don't like when it comes to, we talked about this on the for the Minecraft movie. When you have these open world experiences that are very personal to you, all you're doing is setting these franchises up for absolute failure along the way, because everyone's experience is custom to them as opposed to the straight narrative that you see in, a narrative driven game.
Yeah.
So this is, I mean, I don't really know what to say about this.
I can already see what they're going to do with it. They're going to play it for gags and laughs, right? They're probably going to have a sex scene with the pixels over I could tell you how this is going to work, right? Someone will get trapped in a room with no doors, right? Like this. If I'm writing this is what's happening.
I could see this happening better as like some sort of anime, right? And because it'd be very similar to the actual Sims style. And I see that better than I see a live action, because I really don't understand what they're gonna do.
How many
or
gay
a CGI movie or something like that?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. CGI, yeah. Just bring it over. Bring the art style over and just make it. It's called Machinima, folks. Let's make it happen. Remember when people would do Machinima? That was like the craze.
Remember when Machinima was a thing?
Yeah, yes, just remember Machinima.
That's a name I've not heard in a long time.
Did I ever tell you, Razor, about the time that Machinima wanted to buy Screw Attack?
Oh my gosh, you just reminded me. Yes.
Yeah. That was that's when I learned that the people running over there were giant fucking assholes.
Oh, oh my, how the turns have tabled.
Yes, indeed. It's been a lot, man. Hey, Demi, speaking of a lot, came in with a $50 super chat. Says it's National Bash Open, the Short Bus Rider Day today. All right. Celebrate by seeing if my skull has candy where my brain should be. Grab your crowbars today. All right, Demi, that's very unique. Look at that. Look at that, Demi. Thank you very much for that massive support. We greatly appreciate it. Whew, man. Let's go read off Andrew right here.
Andrew says, does the Diddy situation remind anyone else of the Mad TV spoof To Catch a Predator?
I don't remember that. I don't remember. I'm sure they did. Mad TV went off the air just shortly after that.
A lot of Mad TV hosts now have podcasts.
Yeah, it's kind of what they have to do because it was never as successful as SNL, even though it was always funnier.
Stupid podcasters is ridiculous.
Yeah. Did you see the clip of freaking Bobby Lee? I do like his podcast. Bobby Lee, he's arguing with somebody and they're talking about slavery. And he's like, well, Koreans never had slavery. And he's like, are you sure? And they look up on Wikipedia. It's like, Korea had the most extensive slave trade in all of Asia.
That's the beautiful thing about podcasts is
Yeah.
oftentimes they're stream of consciousness. So you
Yeah.
have an opportunity to call people on their bullshit, which is just the best. So Nastasa came in, says, I know the best movie to watch for side scrollers. 2 great comedies, Monty Python, Life of Brian, and Mel Brooks's Blazing Saddles, or that one Western with Fred Williamson. You know which one, Razor.
It's called Boss Hard R.
Oh, yeah. We'll
He
stick with
plays
Blazing
himself and he's black. Oh, it's genius. It's a great movie, actually. And there's a theme song. There's a funk theme song with that title in it. It's incredible. It's incredible. You've got to watch this movie.
Wow. Am I allowed to watch that movie? Yeah, man.
Not anymore.
You know, I will say
Go to a tanning bed, tan a lot, and then you can watch it. That's fine.
I will say this about the Matt Walsh movie. He goes to a bookstore and one of the books is that it's the N-word, right? And he picks it up and he's like, am I allowed to hold, like he's talking to the lady at the bookstore, and she's white and she's trying to talk about the book, but without saying the name. And he's it's this very very contentious thing where he's trying to get the girl to say the word, but she won't say it and he can't say it. It's really, really funny. Good stuff. That is a pretty funny underlook moment from that movie. Yokoi also came in, says, Razor got around to reading Ghost of the Badlands, top tier with Flash and everything going on in comics. When will we get a side scrollers comic? The Misadventures of Mistress Blabs. Oh man, that'd be funny. Maybe not a comic, but I have definitely been kicking around the idea for some games. So we'll see kind of what happens with that.
Yeah, my comic has a cross on the cover. Blab's comic can have a burning cross on the cover.
All right, let's go and move on. Hey, did you see this? There's been a lot of talk about Xbox having a handheld for a while. Have you heard this rumor, Razor? This has been one of those underlying things over the last year or so.
It's been going around for a long time. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Tom Warren, who is the senior editor over at The Verge, points this out over on X, that Xbox...
Yep.
I thought that was
Craig
me
died.
for a second because I've been having StreamYards issues all morning.
Craig died.
Platform
Fairly
inventory
well.
of devices is to Xbox. Did I die?
He's back.
Hello,
Oh, weird.
darkness,
Is that the
my
first time we've
old
seen
friend.
that? Okay. Bummer.
You
Am I
straight
back?
up,
You're
you straight
back.
up Adam Sandler froze right there.
Okay.
You're
Well,
back. You're good.
Yeah.
Good. Weird. All right. Well, so you can see it down here on the bottom right here. They haven't announced a handheld, but it sure looks like they have a handheld on the horizon, which, I think everybody sees. I don't really see the necessity for having a handheld Xbox controller. I talked about this last night. I was on Colt Eastwood's podcast and he was asking me about this. And I don't know. I think with Steam Deck, it kind of makes the Xbox console kind of moot and pointless at this point. Razor, do you got any thoughts on that?
Yeah, I've never used a Steam Deck, but the concept sounds way too familiar. I mean, even with the brand recognition of Microsoft, if Steam Deck is already there, I do find it interesting that Steam Deck was kind of rushed to release, we heard, right? There were a lot of problems when it first came out, and it was right after the rumors of Microsoft working on a handheld console came out. I wonder if Valve wasn't like, oh no, that's not happening, and push the Steam Deck out just a little bit quicker than they intended. Although we've been waiting so long since the rumors initially came out, who knows? Craig?
Now you're talking to yourself.
Now you're muted.
Yeah, now I'm talking to myself.
Really
just talking to
good.
myself. So, well, sorry, I was trying to think through the timeline of the release here, whether it's 20. Okay, let's say they release it in 2025 or 2026. Like, I don't know. At this point, I mentioned this last night, but I think everybody has a handheld already. They got their phones, right? So
Exactly.
So what are we doing? Why do we necessarily need this?
We're all mobile gamers together.
That's right. We're 50% of the modern audience, which is good.
It's, I think the day of games being made specifically for handheld, like, oh, we'll have Spider-Man on the Xbox 360, but then we'll have Spider-Man for the PSP, and it's a different game. It's gimped. The graphics are gimped, and the gameplay sometimes was different. It had different cutscenes, all that different stuff. I think that day's over. That day's done. it's now kind of the age of, oh, I'll literally just play a PC game on this device. Unless it's that, it won't have any chance.
Let's do a poll, Blabs. I'm curious to see what the chat thinks about this. Is there a need for an Xbox handheld console? Right? It's just, and we'll just say in its purest form, right? The idea that it plays games, maybe it has Netflix, something along those lines. Has some sort of functionality, but curious. So,
it's the Zune. It's coming back.
Man, the Zune. Let's
Dude,
go.
Zune slapped. It was cool.
It's the second coming of the Zune.
What was that taco handheld? That was
PS5.
like no. It was a taco handheld. It was a phone. Engage. Remember that?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, that was a meme back in the day. God, the Engage. I need to pull that up for Blabs. The taco, was it? It was the taco. The taco Engage. Yes. It's so stupid. We've had a wild ride when it comes to video game consoles, specifically handhelds over the years. It's nuts.
Yeah.
All right, let's go to another story here. As we've talked about Concord quite a bit on this channel, we started talking about Concord today. Big day, 0 players. We may have a future Concord on our horizon as Bungie, their next big IP marathon, is coming, and they are reportedly targeting a $40 price tag for a marathon. Now, you may be asking yourself, hey, what's going on here, right? Why $40? Concord was $40. Helldivers was $40. Concord failed. Helldivers, tremendous success, right?
Followed by one of the biggest declines in the history of modern gaming.
Correct. Now, to be clear, this is from Kami over on X. He says $40 price tag is being considered from Bungie. The game will be a class-based game, not a hero shooter. So that's something to keep in mind. Whereas Concord was the hero shooter, this is looking to be.
Oh my God, it's an extraction shooter.
I think you're correct.
I've talked about this in a number of videos, but extraction. I just did a review of Hunt Showdown. Extraction shooter is the next thing after Battle Royale. It's the big thing that they've been trying to. Now that makes a little more sense. $40 price point. Hunt Showdown, for example, was sold for like $20 at launch. Now it's down to like 15 or 10. Extraction shooters have fewer maps, but that's because the maps are bigger, more detailed, and you're really selling the gameplay loop, right? You're not really selling the maps. 2 is not enough though for launch. I don't know, man. Because Hunt struggled. They just got a new map after 5-6 years or something. But Hunt struggled for the first couple of years because it had the one map. And then I think at launch, they released another one, Lost in Delta. And then it was forever. It was like 2 years before they got another one. And the community complained in the meantime. It's not enough content. I don't know, man. It seems like they're repeating the same mistakes of other extraction shooters.
I'm with you. I'm with you on this. I feel like there's a... like we're repeating history over and over and over again when it comes to this stuff. And, going back to this right here, it says the core gameplay structure similar to Escape from Tarkov, but with a quote Bungie twist. That's what they're going for here. Feedback from the playtesters from what's been somewhat positive, with some noting it feels worth the $40 price tag. And there we go. Morale within Bungie remains low amid recent leadership changes, but it is what it is. But $40 for an extraction shooter. How much was Escape from Tarkov? That's a good question.
Well, that's the big controversy now because they have the big expand. Well, shoot, we did an episode on this, didn't we?
Mm-hmm.
We had
Nasmer.
Yeah. Where they were talking about like the big deluxe $200 whatever pay to win edition. Right.
Mm-hmm.
That's the problem with Tarkov. They've never really isolated, hey, what's a fair price for this game? And now they're getting into like nickel and diming sort of pay to win territory, which is really like Tarkov's kind of dying off a little bit now. But it's not uncommon to have a lower price point for an extraction shooter, though, because it's multiplayer only, usually. And you usually don't have that many maps.
Pointed out by Mage Leader says Helldivers is having a big bounce back in numbers with the latest patch. They reverted a ton of their bad changes at once. Might be worth covering. I did see that this morning. It'll be interesting to see kind of what that looks like. And by the way, yes, I mentioned before Tarkov was $44.99, the standard edition.
Really? I'm looking at Escape from Tarkov, the website, and it says $50 for standard.
Okay, well then I'm just going off of a Google search right now. So yeah.
Maybe it was originally 45 and it since has been bumped up to 50. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't remember what I paid for it, but it wasn't an outlandish amount. And
Well,
then after that, they rolled out the, pay $100 and get this
yeah, there's
version.
a 250 version.
Yep, the $250 version. Just ridiculous.
Well, here, speaking of Helldivers, just on a quick side note, here is the current player count right here. This is when it started. It had saw the big boost. And here's the latest update here. And they currently have 50,000 players playing it, which is considerably higher.
Bad. That's still not bad.
Yeah, that's considerably higher than what it was just a month ago. And that's exactly what you want. So they're listening to their audience, which, hey, anytime you listen to your audience, I think that's a great thing.
Exactly. Don't they still have that stupid PlayStation Network thing on their thing? And everyone boycotted it for that reason. And they're like, oh, we're going to backtrack. But then they didn't actually backtrack. And everyone
they never backtrack.
Yeah, so everyone got bamboozled.
Let me say that. I don't think that's a Helldivers decision. That's a Sony.
No, I think that was a higher up decision, but still, they should have been like more transparent about that.
Right. All right, let's go to move on. Hey, Ubisoft is the best company in the world.
They are.
They're so good.
Buy now on the dip.
If you want to make some money, it may be a good time because the Ubisoft stock is it has not performed very well. Now today, I
wouldn't buy before Assassin's Creed Shadows, though. I don't think the dip is over.
No. Well, it currently right now it's up today after being just totally destroyed. Because if you look at their stock, you can actually see that this is compared to 3 months ago when it was at $21, and they've had a lot of red days. A lot of red days compared to green days, but today's a green day, so good for them.
That may actually be some people buying on the dip a little bit.
Potentially, yeah. But you can see it's definitely had a rough month as it's down at $11 right now, closing in on 12, and that's the Euro version along the way. But they made a lot of bonehead decisions along the way, and then we talked about the different games that they've released. Well, Assassin's Creed Shadows is the next one along the way. The pre-sales for this game have not performed very well. There's been a lot of controversy around it. We've talked about that extensively on the channel. But what's interesting here as we go over to that Park Place, Assassin's Creed Shadow executive producer admits Ubisoft is going, quote, beyond what is acceptable truth when they're in their game.
You have black, not a samurai guy and female ninja. I think we've gone beyond what was possible in this particular period. Of course, look, I was playing Assassin's Creed Mirage last night, which I actually liked that game. It was kind of a return to form a little bit for the franchise. It's a shame it's going to be followed by this turd. But in that one, you're warping around doing chain assassins and chain assassinations, and like you have superpowers. There's a genie in it, right? They've gone beyond accepted truth for quite a minute now. Didn't you have a Medusa boss fight in Odyssey?
I would not say no. I don't know that for sure, but
I think you literally had a boss fight with Medusa.
I think most people expect, and we talked about this briefly yesterday, the idea of taking creative liberties, right? But they've consistently over and over again talked about how they're going to honor the heritage and honor the area, the time frame, and all this along the lines. This goes back to the interview with the New York Times. We touched on this briefly last week, but the guy came out and he told the outlets, he said, this once again from that Park Place, says, we want people to be passionate about history. What does that mean? Stay true to the well-documented moments and historical figures, but not shying away from having a critical point of view and defying cliches to go beyond what is the accepted.
Blow me, Ubisoft. Blow me. Absolutely blow me. You remember when the first game came out?
Yeah, of course.
So they reviewed that game at XO6, or they previewed that game at X06. Had a great showing. You remember Jade Raymond was on, and it kind of messed up at the end, but it was, dude, it turned a lot of heads. People were really, really excited. They showed it off at E3. It was a big thing. And everyone was like, oh, hey, it's going to be this. And they were saying on stage, this is going to be a game about a member of the Hashashin in the Holy Land killing Saracens and Crusaders. That's the premise of this game. Anybody remember that? Somehow, by the time we got to launch, they were no longer called the Hashashin. They were called just assassins. Does anybody know why that happened?
No.
It's because we wanted to be sensitive to the quasi-terroristic Muslims who are descended from the actual Hashashin. We've got to be sensitive to their cultural history and their history. Oh, but Japan, they can go fuck off. Right? Oh, no. But Japan not having black samurai, all the historians who are fact-checking them on the actual history of the feudal period in Japan. No. They can go kick rocks. We'll bend over backward. We'll splay our sandalwood-scented assholes for the Hashashin ancestors. No. But freaking Japan, they can come with all the receipts in the world, and we'll still make our goofy female ninja black samurai game. Fucking seriously, gargle with lie.
Well, the article continues. Thank you for that, Razor. It's wonderful.
Sorry,
No, I love it. I love it. It's great. Benoit said in May, says, we're at the end of the Sengoku era in a turning point of Japan history. Assassin's Creed is well known for its depictions of the history and accurate recreation of the world. And it's what players can expect with Assassin's Creed Shadows. We're showing real historical figures such as Oda Nobunaga, and a lot of events that happened during that time. So you're not only playing in feudal Japan, you're learning about this fantastic time period. Now, this is kind of interesting here. The same person says, ironically, the New York Times' Zachary Small also shared that Cote believes this, quote, approach would inevitably open Assassin's Creed to more criticism in the future, but the developers have decided it was a risk worth taking. So they knew that this was going to be a thing. Says Cote previously admitted that he was, this is hilarious, emotionally broken by Elon Musk for simply posting that DEI kills art when he found that Assassin's Creed Shadows featured a game.
And no one has broken art harder than Ubisoft. Let's be real.
Cote informed GameFile how this post broke him. The tweet generated emotions that the first thing I wanted to do was go back on X that I had deleted and just tweet back. I just took a step back. I have a mindfulness app on my phone.
We have an app for being a mature adult now, ladies and gentlemen. We have an app to remind you not to be a spurg on the internet. If that isn't the purest distillation of this French fagaloon state of mind and level of emotional maturity, I don't know what will instruct you. My God, a mindfulness app.
That's right.
Hey, before you hit send, don't be a retard. Oh, thanks, app. Jesus. Normally, my upbringing and parentage would have actually sorted that out for me, but Jesus.
Well, he's from France. It's all right. It says, and I did a bit of mindfulness to try to explore the emotions that this tweet created. I mean, this is spectacular. Truly is. He then accused Musk of feeling hatred while being the one who actually accepted hatred. For me, Elon, it's sad. He's just feeding hatred. I had one of those. I had a lot of 3-word replies that came to mind. Nevertheless, Cote continued, by attacking someone like Elon, I'm not convinced people about I will not convince people about our point of view as a team. So there you go.
Completely fictitious point of view.
Yep.
And it's ridiculous. I find this offensive only because, come on, we know why they did this. They did this because they have a checklist. They have to include a female protagonist. They have to include a protagonist of color. That's literally handed down from on high. They've taken DEI money. They're 15% owned by Tencent. This is not a mystery. We don't have to sit here and interpret tea leaves. Stop insulting our intelligence by pretending you were inspired to do this. You were inspired by the giant checklist that you have to fulfill or you will not have a job. Blow it at your ass.
Destiny.
What's that? What's that, Blabs?
I said it's finished, the end in French. But you know what this reminds me of? The truth is like there's the truth and then there's my truth. And
Right.
that's basically the entire thing that I got from that. Side note though, correct. Did you submit your application?
I'm working hard on my application to Razor to Razorfist to
Razor's hiring.
to Ubisoft's next internship program. I'm working hard on it. Yeah.
My God.
So I'm going to submit my application and see what happens. So I think it'll be really important for people to see. So, but it continues here as we have more to the story. Razor it says. Cote then shared that he believes Ubisoft will convince players of his team's point of view, which we know is going, quote, once again, beyond what is the acceptable truth within the first 15 minutes of the game. Yatsuke is very, very grounded in the history of the franchise and how we make our choices. We got a super mysterious historical character from which not much is known about. And for us, it was what we want in Assassin's Creed. So he says, what Elon says is not the game we're building. People will have to play the game themselves. And if within the first 11 minutes, 47 seconds, they are not convinced of what we're doing, we can have that discussion. Well, I guess that's a pretty quick turnaround. 11 minutes and 47 seconds. Very precise. So I guess it goes back to window shopping, right? The idea that people make their decisions.
Yeah, and there's Ghost of Tsushima in the other window. Like, right. Talk about a miscalculation. It's now been released on PC. You can mark my words. When this game comes out, there will be a spike in Ghost of Tsushima players on Steam. Mark my words.
It's interesting. He follows up with saying,
if it's as bad as we're all thinking, and it looks pretty bad.
Well, whether it's good or not, right? That's the thing about this, because this guy says it's an Assassin's Creed game, and I believe it's the best one we've ever built. Okay, cool. That's what you're supposed to say. You're supposed to be proud. But once again, will people take the dive? Will they pay the $60 or $70 for Assassin's Creed, given the publicity around this? Whether the game is good or not, it doesn't matter. You got to get people in the door first to try it. And I don't know if people are willing to give it. I don't know if Japan as a country is willing to give this a try. I'm sure some people will just kind of stick their foot in the water, and just kind of stream it. But I don't know. I think this will do fine.
Ghost of Tsushima was controversial in Japan, right? Like and they were pretty respectful of Japanese history. A lot of stuff that is like done by Westerners sometimes has some level of controversy incumbent in it. But this is just, you're going completely the other way just to make a ham-fisted political point, and you're not even owning up to it. That's the part that galls me. Like, we know where this is coming from. You weren't sitting there in a focus group together going, you know what I'm inspired to make? The Black Samurai female ninja game. That's what I'm going to do in feudal Japan. Ridiculous.
I think that's the one thing. He says this. He says it in his quote. Says, we want people to be passionate about history, blah, 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 blah. Stay true to the well-documented moments and historical figures, but not shying away from having a critical point of view and defying cliches to go beyond what is the acceptable truth. What the fuck does that even mean? Like the acceptable truth.
Yep.
Like you're just going out of your way to be numbskulls to be numbskulls. It's crazy. All right. Let's go and move on. Razor, I know you're a huge Inside Out 2 fan.
What?
I'm just kidding. Did you see the latest from Pixar? Because everybody else did. Inside Out 2. Did you see the movie? No?
I didn't see the first one.
Good. Well, you also don't have a child to bring to the theater. So,
right.
Well, it is the highest grossing animated film ever. Now, that's not something that I saw on the bingo card for Inside Out 2. It was a fine movie. My wife enjoyed it. I thought it was fine. My kids enjoyed it. But you know why we took our kids to the film in the first place?
Because it's the only kids film available right now, or
it didn't have any bullshit in it. Like, we were very skeptical about it. And there was talks of making Riley, the lead character, gay. And she's like 13, right? Ooh. So it turns out, this is an article from IGN, as there's been some leaks that have come out along the way, that Inside Out 2, obviously very successful, But behind the scenes, Pixar workers grappled with crunch, layoffs, and an avoidance of LGBTQ themes.
Okay.
So they were very upset that that they couldn't make Riley more gay in the film.
I like how like 2 of the 3 are like some serious topics, like layoff, super duper stress, crunch time to get things done in a timely manner, and then gayness.
I want an interview with whoever the only mature adult at that company is that was like, yo, she's 13. What's wrong with you? Like, what? You can't do this in your story. It's a kid's movie. Stop. Whoever that person is a hero.
Well, it was somebody in Disney leadership, as Culture Crave has this, says the animators were working 7 days a week, with one employee calling it the largest crunch in studio history. Okay. Wow. Disney leadership asked animators to make Riley come across as less gay. They put a large part of Lightyear's failure.
Gay, just less gay.
Yeah, just less gay.
Tune it back a little bit. Jesus.
This is interesting here. They put a large part of Lightyear's failure on the same-sex kiss.
They're hitting pretty close to the mark. That was a huge controversy, and it didn't belong in the movie at all.
I've seen this movie, and this is there's a great relationship between Riley, the lead character, and the lead hockey star at the school that she goes to. And there was tons of opportunity to give them, like, you know, kind of the glancing looks and kind of add a little romance to it. Like, there are tons of opportunities to do that, but it wasn't in there. And I'll tell you this, whoever it was in Disney leadership who made that decision made the right decision, because you came out with the biggest animated film in history because of it. And because I guarantee you, as a parent, there's not a chance I would have brought my kid to see something that's just propaganda along the way. And so, yeah, I mean, like, they made the right decision.
They're going to pay for that with their unions and all that. I mean, we saw that, what is it, Disney Imagine Tomorrow press conference. We know the kind of people that they're dealing with in their company that have infiltrated that company. They are going to make them pay for it.
This is interesting from Ian with the 25 euro monies. Says they keep getting stuff pulled in countries like Dubai because of the gay content, which I suspect is starting to play a role in their decision making. Oh, yes. Thank you, Ian. That's massive. And
when you're making all kinds of money in China and the Middle East and whatnot, and you're trying to expand internationally, sorry, you can't have rainbow flags on every street corner. That's just, no. Not the rest of the world is not insane like parts of our country are.
Right. Now, we know Disney's a shitty company, and there's more to this as well as this continues on. It says Pixar employees laid off before the release did not qualify for a bonus for the film, for working on the film. I don't really know how I feel about that. Like, you weren't there when it was released, even though you did work on it. I don't know what their company structure looks like, but you didn't cross the finish line, right? So, you know, I don't know if they get laid off or fired. Laid off is a key word there. One employee pointed out the irony on working on a film about mental health, only to have their mental insurance, their health insurance stripped away. Kind of ironic for sure. Laid off employees couldn't pick up their belongings during work hours as to not make the remaining employees feel awkward. Key cards were restricted to outside of normal work hours. How are you laid off and still having access to this to begin with?
Right.
Just kind of an odd question. Some employees give Pixar credit for paying overtime, offering time off, and showcase sounds good. Reporting similar crunch issues are happening on the next film. Everybody's working crazy hours to get Elio fixed. That's interesting. So what was going to be an Elio? I don't even know what Elio is, but I'm guessing Elio is the next film.
Yeah.
So what was originally planned for Elio that is not going to be in Elio? And is this based off of this back here? Disney leadership coming in and be like, hey, make this character less gay.
I mean, if I had to guess, those layoffs are probably similar to the video game industry, where they get the lion's share of the work done, and then they fire all the people they don't need at the end of production, right? Which is, we've been talking about this a lot on this show, right? The kind of cycle of hiring a bunch of people so you can get stuff done faster. Shoot, we're talking about Ubisoft just a minute ago. Ubisoft is one of the biggest offenders in this. You know, they hire just dude, an entire standing army of additional animators, additional designers, level designers, whatever, from studios all around the world, and then they lay them all off in the 11th hour. Kind of sounds similar.
Right. Well, there was a teaser for Elio, and that is just judging off Wikipedia. Its release date is June 13th, 2025. So that's the next movie from Pixar Animations. The idea that they're fixing it, 8 months before it's supposed to be released is kind of interesting. Mm-hmm. The final bullet here, which I think actually could be the most interesting bullet along the way, says one source says Pixar films have made $600 million to be considered profitable. Disney considers it a true hit if it makes $1 billion. So it's got to be $1 billion for it to be a hit at Disney.
What even is this ridiculous industry? Like, what?
It's funny money. It's not even real. That doesn't even make sense. The idea, well, it's got to be $1 billion to be good.
And the video game industry is the same way.
Yeah.
Right? Like we're at this point with a lot of entertainment. And you wonder why China and India are overtaking you.
Chat's right, man. It says a lot about modern bloat here from Ludicrous Fool for sure. I agree with that, man.
I thought CGI was supposed to make things cheaper and more efficient. Like, wasn't that the way that was supposed to go?
Right. And that's the one thing I don't quite understand about the idea of CGI. Like it's in everything. Why don't we just go back to some physical explosions and stuff? I know it's not safe. Safety. No.
Right.
Let's see some things blow up, damn it.
Right.
It's ridiculous.
Like a cinematographer on an Alec Baldwin set. Yes.
Yeah. Oh.
Huh?
Oh. Speaking of people who are going to be charged eventually. Actually, no, he got off, didn't he? Damn. It's ridiculous. Yeah. All right. Hey, guess what? Norm came in with the 10, says, an Assassin's Creed set in feudal Japan always felt like an admission of defeat to me. It was an idea on the back burner and was only to be used when all other ideas been exhausted and washed. I had heard that as well. It was like the last thing on the list.
Remember when, what was it? Was it Unity? Assassin's Creed Unity or one of those, Syndicate, one of those came out, and everybody kept expecting a Japanese game. And whatever the game was got revealed, and Ubisoft literally hit back as, we're only gonna make what we're inspired to make, and we're not really. It was something to the effect of making a ninja game would be kind of hacky, right? It would be like too obvious, or what. It was like they planted their feet and said, we're not gonna make a feudal Japanese Assassin's Creed game. Well, money talks, I guess.
Here we are.
Right.
Morgan came and says,
fruity French money talks.
Says Ghost of Tsushima was not controversial in Japan. The Japan loved it, and the developers were made ambassadors of city of Tsushima, Nagasaki in March 21.
Read the rest of the Wikipedia article. It also courted controversy in Tsushima, but yes, they were made ambassadors to Japan.
Cubicle Kurt says, anyone still playing that Ubisoft is attempting to rewrite history? When anyone still saying that Ubisoft is attempting to rewrite history when it's basically the Final Fantasy of action and fake history is obviously still on payroll to spread the lie.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. There we go. Thank you, Cubicle Kurt. All right, let's go and move on. Now we had one Disney property which was told to tone down the gayness. We have another Disney property which has ramped up the gayness in a major way. We're talking about Agatha All Along. We'll see how this plays. Bold strategy, Cotton, as they say. Did you see one of the stars of Agatha All Along talking about the witches in the film or the miniseries? Have you seen?
They're a persecuted class, Craig.
That's right. Here we go. Let's see what this person, Sam Zamata.
Typecasting. I see.
Let's go and see what they had to say.
It's been described to me that Agatha is the gayest project Marvel has ever done. Agree?
Why is he delighted in this?
Yeah.
Greg?
Should we tell him?
What's that, Razor?
You were muted.
I know. I was talking to myself.
He's like delighting in this. Like he's doing the Mr. Burns club.
Yeah, who is this guy? I see him everywhere, and he's very flamboyant.
Oh yeah.
He's every with the ladies.
He's everybody's best friend on the red carpet.
Yes.
He's like the American Graham Norton, except Graham Norton
Particularly if
does
your
it
name's
better.
Tad.
Let's hear how this goes.
Project Marvel has ever done. Agree?
I would agree with that. Yeah.
Why is she wearing a pair of tongs on her head?
You know what it is? It's that thing that you massage your head with.
It's a head massager. Yes. She's like Havoc from the X-Men, kind of. Is what's going on.
All right.
Yeah, I don't
You'll
get
see.
it.
You don't see it right there.
No, I see it. I just don't get it why it's on her head.
Fashion, Black.
It's stupid. You know what? It looks like the little arrow thing. It's like that boy from what's the Avatar called? The Last Airbender.
Yeah,
An arrow.
Avatar. There you go. Yes, got his arrow over there. Let's continue.
You'll see when you watch it. But, I think witches are queer inherently just because we are outcast and set aside for many reasons. And I think this show shows a really good representation of different types of people and that we can all use the power we have within to go forth and be great.
Satanic incantations, as you do. I don't think comparing gay people to satanic spell slinging devil worshippers is quite the own that you think it is sociopolitically. I'm just throwing that out there.
Yeah, not the win you thought it was going to be along the way.
Right?
Aren't Wiccans also considered witches? Like, this is a genuine question. So, are they calling themselves Wiccans? I don't understand.
Well,
except the spell, bigot.
Yeah, this is really stupid. And if they even paid attention to history, they would not want to be referred to a witch because they always burnt at the stake and had horrible things happen to them. It's that's what you identify with.
They're reclaiming their word, Blabs. It's like queer.
I love how now lesbians has been turned into queer. It's what happened to just being a lesbian?
Right.
They're not allowed to be that anymore. Have you noticed that trans men or trans women try to date lesbians and it's well, no, you have a dick, so therefore lesbians won't ever date you. And it's you're a bigot. It's what? This is where we're at now, guys. I'm amazed.
Wow.
Well, there's more here.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, there's more. That's a pretty freaking funny. The claw from P. Diddy's human trafficking claw.
There you go. I doubt it would grab her though. She's a little old.
Little old. So we can continue here as he went in and asked more people about this. Don't tell me this guy didn't have an agenda because he came and he went hard with this.
He's only asking about one thing. He's not so how about the lighting and cinematography? No. Is there an extended scissoring scene in here? Sorry, we need to learn. We asking the hard questions.
That's right. You're witches. You got to be gay.
Yeah.
Let's go continue.
I'm told, I've seen the first episode.
My career is so over. That's what she's saying to herself right there.
Just the eye contact of what the hell's happening? All right, here we go.
That's the face of I already regret this conversation right there.
I'm told, I've seen the first episode, but Agatha is the gayest Marvel project yet. Do you agree?
It better be, because that's what I signed up for. I think it is.
I think people are signing up for this. Yeah, Blabs, how do you feel about it?
Hello, darkness, my old friend. This is so stupid.
Now,
well, you remember growing up in the 90s when we had The Craft, and now we're stuck with this bullshit?
What do you mean?
How did we get here?
Kraft cheese?
That was a show.
Oh.
It was a movie.
Yeah. Now,
I mean, the Craft made witches seem all cool and goth and whatnot, and all the girls were emulating them for a while. And this is just so you blow dudes. That's pretty much what?
Not in this movie.
Yeah, in this movie, you're a lady golfer.
Not in this. Not in this.
Pretty much, we just go to Katie Lang concerts a lot. That's basically get bleach blonde mullets.
My favorite thing about this is The Acolyte was the latest Disney project to premiere on Disney Plus. And they, it flopped. It flopped. And what was the marketing about that? So gay. She lesbian. Let's be honest. It's so queer, so gay. And then what do? Marvel just copies Disney Acolyte. It's like, did you not see the financial revenue? No? Okay. It's fine.
Now, Alan over at Film Threat has seen the first 4 episodes of this. Now, apparently there's 8. He's seen the first 4. And he had put a lot of his thoughts over on X, so I don't want to read them about this show. It says, unlike the Acolyte, there's no lore breaking because it's based on no lore. There are gay characters, but being gay is irrelevant and exists solely for virtue signaling. It's not woke garbage. It's just garbage, right? And he continued up here. Says, I will say that if Agatha is the gayest Marvel show ever, it will happen in the episodes I haven't seen yet. So there we go. And he continues, says, what do I mean about bad writing? The entire show so far is a bunch of witches doing a thing. Can they get to the thing? Why do I care about this thing? What's missing is character development. Why do we need to care about these characters? How do we relate to them?
I could say that about most Disney dramas, be real.
Well, like I said, it has nothing to do, and people will take this and they'll take Alan's commentary along it, or whoever's talking about it, and the negative aspect. We've seen this playbook a million times where people will say something and then ultimately it gets dragged along as, look at he's racist or sexist or homophobic, and it's like no, it's just bad. It's just bad. People don't have a whole lot of interest in seeing it. So,
question about this show: is it all being dropped in one time, all 8 episodes?
I don't know. I can't answer that.
Because I think that's a bit weird that Alan got to see 4 of them, and now he's got to wait 4 or 5 weeks to see the rest of it.
And I'm sure he's counting down the minutes.
Because I mean, by then it'll be a whole month, and then he might forget everything. Just a question like that.
According to Wikipedia, it'll be released on a weekly basis leading up to Halloween. So 9 total episodes.
I mean, it's smart.
People have to wait a whole week for this delightful programming.
Yes. Now, Kotaku's got in on this, and they had their tweet out about this. And the response to this is exactly what you'd expect. The normal man who sees this, and they say, well, what am I doing?
This is a planted talking point. If that's in the freaking headline from Kotaku, they were fed that. I mean, he's asking that question for a reason. I'll tell you exactly what's going on here. The show is a turd. It's just a flat out turd. And there's 1 or 2 gay romances in it, probably near the end. He's probably right. So they're like, all right, this is going to be a bomb if we don't do something. What do we do? I got it. We'll pretend that the only people who don't like it are bigots. Neat. Right. Okay, cool. So plant it's the gayest Marvel show ever thing. Make sure that the fruit in the Jimmy Fallon suit keeps asking people about gayness. And then we'll just sell it as that. We'll feed that to all the media outlets. And when it inevitably bombs because it is bad, we'll at least have that for cover. We've seen this playbook a million times.
I saw this tweet and I thought this was hilarious. And I think it really wraps it in, ties into the Star Wars Acolyte aspect of this. But it says, the failure of one, the failure of two, the failure of many. And that's kind of one of those things you're going to see over and over again with Disney. At a certain point, you just got to feel sorry for them because they just don't when are they going to learn? When they go out of when do they learn? When do they go, okay, we've pushed enough. We're good. We're not seeing a return on this stuff. And once again, we just talked about Inside Out 2. We just talked about this being the biggest animated film of all time. It's crazy. Norm, what Norm say? I'm sorry.
Plot twist, he's using gay in the way COD lobbies use the word, and the actors don't pick up on it.
I don't think they use the word gay in Call of Duty lobbies.
No.
Not in my experience. Not what I'm saying. I mean...
Matthew came in, says with the 10 says, the show sucks, but I really like Audrey Plaza, and I think that this show is below her and her skill and her looks and her body and everything else about her. Well, thank you, Matthew. Should get out that. Yeah, no joke. There you go, Matthew. Yeah. Pokey came in and says, are you sure we're not watching the red carpet interviews from the Eternals? I'm getting the same vibes in the clips for Agatha all along.
Yeah. I do kind of get Eternals vibes a little bit, like impending disaster vibes.
Yeah, definitely. Like, when will they learn? And I said I feel sorry for them. I don't feel sorry for them at all. They do it themselves. You know,
they produced it. It's your job to make a good thing.
Yep.
It's just weird. Look, there were probably almost as many bad movies back in the day. I'm talking like 70s, 80s, whatever. The difference is today they have they can use the excuse at the 11th hour of, oh, well, there was gay stuff appended to it, so you're not allowed to dislike it, right? It's actually just the bigots that hate this. That's kind of the difference now. There were always bad movies, right? Lots of bad movies, especially ones that people like Alien. But just thought I'd get the chat talking for a moment there.
Just get them going. The chat's always active, which is good. All right, it's been a little bit since we've spoke about this gentleman. Let's go and move on to a reoccurring segment on the show. It's time for the Mr. Beast Files.
Whoa. You got like an unsolved mysteries thing going on. I'm all about that.
Yeah, that's great.
I love it, dude.
That's good stuff. Well, if you guys want more information about our animator, you can find his link down below in the description. So, phenomenal dude. Okay, so Mr. Beast is back after not saying anything at all. He's, as suspected, he's just going straight on in, just totally forgetting about anything that happened with his psycho Chris man. And now he's working with another Chris Hemsworth, as Chris Hemsworth released a workout video with Mr. Beast on his YouTube channel.
How long is the inject the syringe portion?
That's right. You just put it right here in your butt cheek right here.
Yeah, right here. Don't worry about it.
That's right. And nobody cared. But I do want to talk about this next part of the story is this. Okay. YouTubers, listen, we've seen a lot of success from Mr. Beast with his chocolate candy. We've seen Logan Paul with his Prime energy drink, in and out of lawsuits all over the place, but it's grown a lot. Well, now Mr. Beast and KSI and Logan Paul are joined together to create a Lunchables competitor called Lunchly.
Oh my God.
And it will feature Prime Feastables chocolate and some sort of variation of food along the way.
A variation of food.
That's right.
It's just Lunchables. And Lunchables are bullshit, everyone.
Yes.
Does any kid who grew up in the 90s not know Lunchables are bullshit? It's crackers.
Well, they think that they can compete, and if you want these kids feeding your kid, or if these influencers feeding your kid, man, I don't know what to tell you, right? And Lunchables, by the way, are filled with just all sorts of bullshit and preservatives, and
made out of like gym mattresses and shit. Like, what are you even?
So let's check out some of the wonderful opportunities that we have here to serve our kids cancer. The turkey stackums. Very much like the Lunchables, right? The idea of a Ritz cracker with some sort of...
I feel like there's an innuendo somewhere. Turkey stackums.
Turkey stackums, yeah.
Yeah.
We also have Fiesta nachos along the way. Nacho chips with queso blanco and salsa.
This is cultural appropriation.
It kind of is, yeah.
You know what? Looking back on this, not a single Latino person in this picture. Just this 3 smiling millionaires right here.
Comes with a Mr. Beast NDA in every box.
That's right. And we will continue here with the final option here from the Lunchly side of things. Quote unquote, the pizza. I don't think I want quotation marks around the name of my food. I'm just going to throw that out there.
That looks disgusting too.
Yeah. Look at all that cheese right there. That's good.
Pizza and Mr. Beast has a different connotation now. I'm not sure this was a wise sell.
It just looks like plastic.
So you may be asking, yeah, and you're right. But when you look at this, you may be asking yourself, hey, I want to serve this to my kids. Well,
no, I don't think you would, but
that's right. Well, here is a response. This is from Callie Memes, who is a he works in nutrition.
Uh-huh.
Says, I love Mr. Beast. He's an inspiration. He says, but this crap is not what kids need. The ingredients are nothing but sugar, seed oils, processed grains, and chemicals. There's a childhood chronic disease crisis. We have allies ready to work with you anytime on healthier options. Now, maybe so he's already critical here, and he says, I'm sorry, Mr. Beast, but this is an abomination. This should not be marketed as healthy to kids as you are doing.
What? You get your daily cyanocobalamin intake.
That's right. And your dipotassium phosphate and other quote unquote natural flavors. Right?
Quick question, Craig. Does it have a sufficient amount of pyridoxine hydrochloride?
Well, I'm glad you asked, Razor, because it does has thiamine monosyrate.
Really? Okay,
yes.
Gotcha.
Yes.
Then we're settled.
That's right.
I'll subsist on this shit in that case. Okay.
It's good. Well, so there you go. Another opportunity for these guys to rake in the money by selling poison and cancer to your children.
Yeah.
I don't know when this is going to be launched, but you know what? I'll tell you this right now. It's going to sell because people will buy bullshit from Mr. Beast.
I think the red 5 and yellow 5 will actually shrink your dick less than regularly watching Mr. Beast.
Oh my God. So there we go. More Mr. Beast, more Logan Paul, and more KSI along the way. So this is where we're at with influencers. They want to influence your diet at this point. And I hope
which is hilarious because they have their own private chefs and their own private physical therapists, their own private masseuses and then everything. But no, the average Joe needs to be told how they should eat food.
This goes back to, do you think that I don't think any of them have kids, right? And maybe that's why they're so not in tune to this, right? They see an opportunity. They see a market. That's what they see.
Oh, no, it's not even see an opportunity. People approach them with this shit. They've never eaten this. They've never, just like Mr. Beast burgers, he's never eaten one of those damn things. He just puts his name on it. That's all it is. It's the George Foreman situation.
You're right.
Only he wound up with a good product. The George Foreman grill is bomb.
You're 100% right. You are somebody who's like, hey, they got a drink. Logan Paul's a drink. Yep. He's got chocolate. And who's another influencer we can attach to this that's not white?
Yeah, it's just how everyone a few years ago was selling coffee. The coffee companies approached them. Hey, you want to slap your name on this piece of shit? Sure. Yeah.
Quick reminder, right now you guys can pick up all your supplements over at bluebonnetsupplements.com. Use promo code FIRST for your order. Run over there and pick up all your supplements right now. bluebonnetsupplements.com. Also, another reminder, you guys can become members over at Side Scrollers Podcast. Use promo code GOLDEN. $27 off, which is great. You guys going over there and become a member. It's great.
I think we just had a man great moment. I think.
Hey, smooth transition right in there. Never missed an opportunity right there. That's good. All right. Good Lord. So that's the last story we got for the day, but we do have some support from you guys, and it's graciously appreciated. I'll tell you what, just a heads up. We want to give you guys let you guys know, coming up in a couple weeks, we're going to take a week off. We're going to do a week fall break. We're doing the show every day since February of last year, and we're fucking tired. we need a week off to reboot and kick it into high gear. So we'll take another 18 months before you take a break. So we're going to take a week off, not this next week, but the following week. So just a heads up on that. And
the following after that one too.
Well, no, because I'm going to be on that one. It's not a 2-week break; it's a 1-week break.
Yeah.
The
30th is when you start. So
that's what I meant.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Starting on the 30th. Yeah, not next week, but the following week. That's what I said, right? Either way. Okay. Anyway. So we appreciate y'all's support. All right, Razor, let's give you an opportunity to bounce. Do we have any super chats or direct donations or Rumble rants for?
Let me check locals real fast. No. Nothing on locals for Razor. I always forget to do this, and yet I know I'm supposed to do this, so I'm just stupid. Let's see. I don't think it's anything specifically for Razor.
Okay. Well, if there are some for Razor, we're gonna give him the opportunity to bounce. Fine. Yeah, that's okay. Razor, tell everybody goodbye if you like. He's muted.
He's muted.
Let's try it again. I can't unmute him.
I can't unmute him either.
Razor, you muted yourself.
Hello,
But
everyone.
that one's-
Can you hear me?
Yay!
Hello.
I wonder if I have a hotkey set or something. That's happened twice now. But
Maybe.
yeah, so I have a video on the Trump unaliving attempt. Go check it out. And there's a launch trailer. We're at full launch for Ghost of the Badlands, and it's available absolutely everywhere.
Nice. Awesome. Well, thanks, Razor. As always, have a great rest of your day.
Oh, here we
see you
go.
guys- Oh,
Worthy one. Hey, Razor, since you've got a gold dust fan, did you hear he's currently a double champion?
Hold
at
on,
Ring of
hold
Honor?
on. I'm a gold dust fan.
yes.
I don't know what just happened. Anyway, oh, here's another one. Maximus. Does my name get me a pass? My father named me after the film Gladiator.
I love that your dad.
Oh, nice. Right on.
It's a pretty manly name.
It is.
Maximus, thank you.
Maximus.
It doesn't rhyme with Braden, so yeah.
That's right.
Oh, and this one's also.
Scarfy, Razor, when can we expect a Harris resignation?
Right, if it follows the pattern. Jesus.
I
There you go.
think that's everything for him. Yeah.
Okay. Well, by the way, Blabs is sick today, so I'm going to be
I'm a
hanging.
specifically one. Little boogers get me, man.
Oh
My
my
nephew.
Oh.
The little boogers.
All right, Razor, say goodbye, my friend.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, thank you for having me. And Godspeed.
See you, Razor.
Yeah.
Have a good day, buddy.
Bye, bro.
All right. Shane O'Mac says, new drinking game when Craig says, which is great. And along the way, take a shot. And die before Blabs gets fussed at for this day in gaming history. That's right. You're picking up on my speaking vernacular, my tendencies there.
You
Shane.
also forget, wow, this is the craziest thing I've ever heard.
Wow, that's the craziest thing. Hey, Lance got a couple of video games. That's awesome, Lance. Good for you, buddy. Enjoy those. Benjamin, thank you so much. Appreciate that. Modern Audience t-shirt, do it now. Maybe not. We'll see. Karen and Kevin for our names. Like it.
Like that. Kevin.
Justin and Harlow Autumn. Mr. Fist, thank you for that. Benjamin again. St. Jones says, as an Amber, I can say that we're not all bitches or strippers. Just some of us are just normal women. Hey, thank you, Amber.
Hi.
Appreciate that. Viper came in and says, please play the clip of The Rock saying, shut up, bitch. No, that'd be really insensitive, Viper. Rebound says worst trend is unique spellings for common names. Correct. As he came in, says the same thing with Twilight. A lot of boys are named Edward now.
Yeah, but Edward's a classical, old-fashioned name. That one slides.
As he came back, says the last Marvel show I watched was Daredevil. Rest in peace, Netflix Daredevil. You are greatly missed. Good one. That was a good show. Mercenary says place taps. Godspeed, Concord. Uriah came in, says Blab's trying to say blacks look the same. That's right. That's the one thing we can take
That's
from today's
not
show.
what I said. Holy shit.
Jedi Crack Smokes is watching somebody as thin-skinned as Razor who insults and then insta-bans anyone who disagrees with them on X. Trying to punch up at Matt Walsh is laughably stupid. Well, you know, I'll say this. Without Razor being here, I'll say this about banning people. Sometimes it's just easier to ban people on X. And you know what? That's their prerogative to do that. I do it all the time. It's hilarious. Then they go,
I mute. I don't ban. I'm cooler than both of you.
I mute occasionally because then they're just talking to the void. It's wonderful. It's great. Norm came back and says, I see that Hassan Piker was able to make it to today's show. Thanks, Norm. Speaking of Blabs, Mercenary says, speaking of P. Diddy, there's so much worse coming, and Disney is doing similar to worse than Diddy. So much worse.
Did you see
Be
what I
ready
put
for
in
it.
the private chat about Diddy? How there was 1,000 bottles of baby oil and lubricant found among various freaks of supplies.
Oh, St. Anderson, thank you so much for that. I'm going to move on from that, Blabs. Bingus Pingus says, hello, fellow normal men. I had to put my cat down today, but Blabs rendering Craig speechless made me smile. Thank you for everything you guys do. Yeah, Bingus Pingus, that sucks, man. That sucks, buddy. I'm sorry to hear that. Nobody likes to see the four-legged friends say au revoir and go to rainbow heaven up there. Norm came in and says, say it with me, everybody. He's on the FBI radar. That's right. Absolutely right. He says, sequel to Me Too is P2. Gross. Jason says, 48 hours with Diddy. Sounds like Chris Hansen should have already been involved. Jam Call came in and says, I think most people then wanted to see a person changing for the best and go the straight and narrow. Real question. Can Combs avoid getting Epsteined? Good question. Good question. Will he make it? Epsilon Sama says Diddy getting Diddy definitely got Bieber's bussy.
For real, for real.
Worthy One says, don't forget about the video of Diddy abusing singer Cassie. Thank you, Worthy One. Norm came in and says, P. Diddler's prison will look the same as like a hotel in Dubai. You're probably not wrong. Scarfy says, did anything about Tupac come up in the rap sheet? No, nothing did, Scarfy, but we all know. Master Gawa says, Peter Littlefinger's Bayless equals the the GOAT, or the best Game of Thrones character, but a terrible name for your kid. Also, who could have guessed Diddling Diddy was a Hollywood bad guy? Everybody. Chartard says, Pete Diddler strikes again, Batman. Thanks, Chartard. Norm says, they'd be better off filming a sandbox for 1 hour. Thanks, Norm. Super Joe's Midlife Crisis says Sims movie needs a pool ladder deletion scene. Scarfy the Strange says, when do we get the Mavis Beacon movie? Thank you, Scarvis. Scarfy came back, says, why haven't modders made a chat GPT mod for the Sims like in Skyrim? It'd be cheaper and better written than Hollywood films right now. Thanks, Scarfy. Dirtus King says, I think The Sims could actually work as a comedy take on the Book of Job. A cruel and uncaring player drowning a person in a pool, killing death. That's right, Blabs. You would enjoy that, I think. Death Simulator. Yeah. Make it a horror movie. That's what you should do with The Sims. I think that'd be great. Love that idea. We already have a Sims movie, The Truman Show. Good point, Captain Spire. AC came back, says the most successful Mad TV cast member is Deborah Wilson, seeing her in every video game for nearly 10 years now. Antihero came back, says, we knew for years the left can't meme. This year we figured out they also can't aim. I'm curious what's next. Any ideas? Probably more of the same. And I don't want to think about it. Emperor Creatine says the Nokia Engage is horribly cursed as its design is inspired by a rather infamous meme. Imagine the buttons are fingers. No, there's no way it's inspired by that meme. No way. But thanks, Emperor Creatine. Norm came in and says, what game would make you go out of your way to buy a handheld Xbox? At least Nintendo had games like Pokemon to push the Game Boys and DS consoles. Man, that's a good question. And that's why I don't think it's going to be truly like a major success. People will buy it, but it's not going to be a game changer unless it has Netflix and everything else built into it. But there's no game that would make me buy an Xbox handheld. Bass player came in and says, or bass player. Marathon was the original IP before they started Halo. And yes, the new Marathon is supposed to be an extraction shooter. Thanks, bass player. Elder Chicken says Marathon is not a new IP. It's an old FPS they made from the 90s. Yep. Yeah, yes, totally understand. Go watch Mandalore Gaming's review of them. They're great. But they're bringing it back. Benja then came back, says, so what? The maps are going to be Sfit Homeworld, and the Marathon herself legit could have remade all 4 games, including Pathways into Darkness. Thanks, Benjamin. Jason says, FYI, the chat you got about exploding pagers was because thousands of Hezbollah members' pagers just exploded simultaneously. Wow, that's interesting. I didn't see that. Brett says, Marathon should have been a horror remake of the original. Scarfy says, first bald Space Marines, then zombies, then battle royales, now extraction shooters. Hardcore Bunny says, Stream Deck sucks. Nintendo Switch isn't only cheaper, it has physical games. Steam Deck fans, you can't mean that. You're just bad people. Thanks, Hardcore Bunny. Xander came in and says, why do I think Blabs and rainbow hair makes sense? Bass player came back and says, the game was developed by a multicultural team of various faiths and beliefs. The quote has been displayed prior to the title screen of every Assassin's Creed. Suna Soul Silver says, Ubisoft can choke on their own lies. Cry me a river. Scarpy says, political correctness is the new Hays code. Scarpy says, did anyone make Bible games or edutainment games cry as hard as the guy does over Musk? Man, that's honestly sad to see him. Super Joe's Midlife Crisis says, AC Shadows is a French advertising campaign for Ghost of Tsushima, Neo, and LAD Ishin. They're all going to do numbers at release. Thank you, Super Joe. Jacob says John Lasseter is innocent. Disney is innocent. Disney. Pfft. Norm came in and says, it's called a job. You're supposed to work hard and get the job done. If working at Pixar is so hard, go back to working at McDonald's. Thanks, Norm. Way to yell. Koro says, to follow up on yesterday with Jedi, half of PlayStation's monthly active users, 118 million, are still playing PlayStation 4. A lot of scalped PlayStation 5s rotted. Thanks, Koro. Appreciate that. Insanity Pepper says Assassin's Creed Syndicate had a quest line to help Karl Marx find success in London. People shouldn't be surprised by Ubisoft. Cameron Love says, I'm Scottish and find Groundskeeper Willie culturally appropriate with a load of absolutely what a load of absolute arse bang this woke garbage has come to. Thank you, Cameron. Appreciate your bravery being Scottish. Orthodox Monk says, yes, Wisconsin. Wiccanism. I thought that was a reference to something else. Sorry. Wiccanism, the ancient magic of the 1940s created by that creep Gerald Gardner, who was really going after the ladies. Sorry, I thought that was a reference to Mike Tyson back in the day. A Serious Man says, wasn't Aubrey Plaza in the X-Men TV show Legion? I don't know. Zedekiah says beyond acceptable truth. That's called lying. Correct. Dean says pay extra for Chris Tyson. Pay extra and Chris Tyson with stuff. Will stuff the sausage in your Lunchables. Oh, Dean. Royo says boycott Mr. Beast. Correct. Bjorn came and says they also bleached wheat in the pizza crust. Yeah, and nothing about that is good. Jag came in as a member for 11 months. Says my cousin's name is also Kylo. I feel bad for him.
That's rough.
Says it is, Craig. The N-Gage even has the ring. Wow. I'll need to do a little digging on that. Thanks. Maybe that's why it failed. Marco Reality came in with a 10. Says when Disparu is the only person who is truly super excited for a show's released, you might want to rethink your script and marketing campaign. Hey, thanks, Mark. Appreciate that.
I got some locals for you. Spoon Ninja for $1 says, yeah, Cragette and Krabs for their names. Oh my god. Felsteph for $1 says, I'd rather see a Sims movie directed by Uwe Boll. Oh my god, that'd be hilarious. Felsteph also says, Disney, our show isn't made for you. Also Disney, why isn't anyone watching our shows? And then Spoon Ninja followed up with that no mention of Arnold, and it's a picture of Arnold Schwarzenegger as Harry Potter. Thank you.
Firefly wants to know if you read the chat over on X. We read all the chat everywhere. Rio says it's pronounced Rio, Craig. Okay, thank you for that. Sorry, messed that up. Sheba Warrior says Donald Trump isn't an alley cat. He has 9 lives. Hey, thank you so much, Sheba. Proctophile says, oh, this is for Razor. I'm sorry, Proctophile. I missed it. Apologize. But he said, having a debate with a friend over here, why the likes of Concord, Dustborn, Acolyte, etc. fail. He's a Hollywood creative, and he believes it comes down to bagged marketing rather than DEI niche appeal. How would you try to determine the objective truth? It goes back to window shopping. If people have no interest in playing the game, yes, marketing plays a big part of it. But when your characters are tied to they, thems, and z-zems and all that, guess what? Normal man doesn't want to pay money for it. Why should they? There's plenty of other opportunities. Jack says, hail side scrollers, can I get a Godspeed for Jason Damro, the voice of the storyteller from the Shoddy Case series. He unfortunately passed away last week due to cancer. And that is a story for another day. Godspeed, gents. Well, I can't do Godspeed, but I'm sorry Razor wasn't here for that. Commodore fan says, no, we don't need an Xbox handheld. Nintendo Steam Deck clones, mobile phones, laptops had the market well covered. Thank you, Commodore fan. Delta came in with the 5, says, I don't know how a new extraction shooter will survive long. Forever Winter is coming out soon and promoting its content as being playable solo with small teams without needling their servers to play. Thank you, Delta. LD came in, says, here's some news for the LDP. Is currently having a race for leadership. If anyone, okay, thank you for that. And Hono G says it's bad when Japan can gender bend their historical figures, like in the abomination of Oda Nobona, and others, yet somehow be respectful to Japanese culture, unlike anything produced in the West. Thank you, Hono. Sorry, I butchered that. over on Rumble. Man, you guys have been great today. Great today. Thank you very much for your support. We genuinely appreciate any and all. Lord of the Ree says, turns out the P in Diddy is for Beto. Hellside Scrollers from Missouri, the most base state in the union. Fun fact, we have constitutional carry before Texas did. Just don't go to St. Louis. B. Barrett says, my girlfriend calls me Concord because it takes a long time to get ready to launch and then last a short time. That's good. Good stuff, B. Barrett. Appreciate that. Mighty Megatron says, remember Orlando Brown from That's So Raven? He was getting passed around like a hot potato from Diddy to Busta Rhymes at parties. Are you serious? Look what they did to him.
Yeah, dude's been behind bars and stuff. Yeah.
Busta Rhymes busting on Orlando Brown. Gross. B. Barrett says, can't wait for Sims director's cut for an extra $1,000. Ree says, thank you for that, Ree. Lord of the Ree came back, says, there's already an Xbox handheld. It's called Xbox Remote Play for your Steam Deck. Linux is greater than whatever is on an Xbox handheld. Thank you. Jared says, nice job on gaming history, Blabs, today, Blabs. Way better than the one from the past Friday. Also, like I've never played a GTA game. Thank you, Jared. Razor says he's black. They call him Boss. He's a boss. Boss Razor. Thank you, Ree. And Jared says, speaking of the Capcom fighting games y'all talked about yesterday, to everyone who plays on Xbox, Capcom Fighting Collections 1 and 2 will be available on Xbox next year. Thank you, Jared. And Shane says, with Agatha all along being so gay, I got a hunch a lot of STD treatment medications will be used on set. Another big win for Big Pharma. There we go. All right, Shane. Lord, you guys are silly. All right. And finally, the Hijabi Gamer says, I am behind work. I don't want that. I am Arab. I think Hashishin is much cooler. I also means they did their research on the subject. So stupid. Hijabi Gamer. Great to see you. Thank you for everything. All right, there we go. Let's roll out. This is good. Appreciate you guys popping in and being a part of our life, allowing us to be a part of yours. Tomorrow, we're back at it again. Blabs, who do we have on our show tomorrow?
Mally Mouse.
Oh, we got Mally joining us tomorrow. It's going to be a great one. Oh, man. Mally joining us on Wednesday. Let's stink and go. We got a great rotation. Mally and Arch taking on Wednesdays with us. So Mally tomorrow. It's great. All right. You guys have a great rest of your day. We will see you guys mañana when we're back at it. With that said, go subscribe to Blabs' channel. Once again, if you guys are the hardcore, you guys are going to the ones who can keep this thing afloat, head over to SideScrollersPodcast.com. Become a supporter over there and go watch the brand new Golden Era documentary available for everyone. If you are into the classic GoldenEye 007, you are going to love this doc. I promise you that. With that said, head over there, become a member. We'll see you guys later. See you tomorrow when we're back at it, 11 a.m. Central Time. Have a great day. Remember, people are going to try to keep you down. Don't let them. You guys got a goal. Go get it. Hit the thumbs up button on your way out. See you later. Bye-bye.